Well, it took its while. In fact, it's been an extremely boring week, wouldn't you agree? Only one more week before Armageddon, uh, or at least the beginning of an Armageddon. And we are finally getting a little chapters we can review again. Hi for those who are watching, it's the Angry Anime Fan of the Despair Reviewer. And if by any chance my usual Kingdom uh, review commenters are watching this one, I'll say I'll surprise you by saying, well, surprise you. I'll say, yeah, I'm wearing the glasses again, aren't I? May have been a little bit strange last time, but hey, on special occasions, I take this off. I mean, I'm not that great, so it's nothing really big. But enough about that, and enough about Armageddon, because everybody knows what I'm talking about. Now we're talking about real things, as real as it can be, right? This is the Kingdom chapter of 501, and me giving you the summary and stuff. Either way, the Qin army are marching. As many citizens of Qin sees them, they all praise them off. Although Kario 10 still have her mind in that way. Do you all remember that, what was it last time, was the last chapter, there were some rumors, Yotawa said to Kario 10 that she needs to keep her head cool. And while we still haven't exactly seen her panicked yet, she is sweating, so I don't exactly think she can uh, calm down. And, well, duh, no one. I mean, don't get me wrong, Karutan is a superpower in this war, but there are some people who will still say she's overshadowed by the real superpowers. I still believe, though, she's one of those young prodigies, especially when the other young commanders, but she's still a bit young. Moreover, she wonders what she's gonna do, but I just know she was gonna make places at the exact same moment. Either way, she mentions that they're gonna pick up supplies when they're gonna change direction, and she thinks that under that moment Riboku should notice. And she describes this almost like a race, when the Shin army will be able to push their way past Retsubi, the gateway to the royal capital and the inner sanctum. The Sao may be able to fortify its entrance in time and prevent us from getting in altogether. So the key issue will be redirecting the army when they arrive at Kinnan. So everything rides on the scale of Osen, who once again shows that he's a monster. I mean, a monster in prodigy. I think he is also a monster in personality, similar to Kanki. However, if there's anything we can agree on, is that Olsen's mind cannot be read, and that's actually pretty good for a prodigy, because, well, um, the because, well, the more poker face you have, the more your motives are difficult to read, and every rumors about Olsen just make that even more unsettling. But it turns out he's stopping his troops because it's rain. He could even predict it's raining. It's also worth noting that Kyokai could also predict it's rain, so yeah, she's getting there. As everybody begins to talk on how the reason why they stopped is not to waste strength. Karutan realizes that General Olsen is planning up everything else. I mean, she is making one step ahead of everything. That's actually kind of amazing. I mean, I'm not the guy that can do that. But at long last, Sao is getting some hints that there is something hidden about this, because they mentions that there's spies that the dispatch to Kinnan has lost contact with them, probably meaning that they were found out and getting killed. And the thing is that they have only been killed at Kinnan, meaning that that general, the white-haired, boy-looking guy called Shun Siju or whatever, is saying that for what reason would a simple supply depot warrant such security? Meaning that he correctly guesses that Kinnan is a checkpoint for the supplies, and even though he doesn't have proof, he realizes that it may very well be a secret, so he tells them to send that to Riboku to tell them, even if they have no contrary evidence, because after all, this is a 50-50, you know. If we know that it's true, so if Sao did not know, then even Shiju acknowledges that this will be a greatly setback if this is not to be true, and we all know it is true. So yeah, they may have predicted that. However, this chapter suddenly takes a interesting turn. Quite an interesting turn indeed. I did not predict this because what I just recently read out of a nice commentator, not on my sites. No, sorry, I need to collect my words. I recently read a commentator on a manga site that actually gave us the real history that this, what just happens in this manga, sort of also happened here, meaning that this interesting guest actually did happen. And let me tell you, as much as he's going to be an enemy to Shin and a thorn in their sides too, this might actually just be that distraction Shin needs. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about that Olsen gets a top priority message that a certain person uh, delivered to Olsen, which is his own personal spy. And it's a secret, very short message that he gives to one of his commanders to read it and then burn it because they need to increase their marching troop. And then another troop, it's just another soldier enters to tell them about the theory they have about Shin's real purpose. Ribuku gets an even more urgent matter, which greatly causes everyone, and mind you, including Ribuku, to sweat. Also, we see Kisu, so he's back in this capital again. Even Ribuku is clenching his fist in this. Is this meaning that even he did not predict this? What is it? What am I finally talking about? Well, just before, as Shin is getting closer to this destination, just before they enter the battle encounters in the region around the capital, they would clash swords with Jan, led by the great general of Jan, Ordo, the man who had many mountain tribes of Jan into it. As this battle just became even more interesting. Because you think about it, as I said in the beginning of this video, this may very well be the distraction Shin needs. Although I know Jan is not an ally of Shin, and Ordo is gonna make sure they are gonna attack Shin too. However, given to the fact that every single troop is gonna clash with each other, the only real reason why Ordo is attacking is because he's not the type of nice guy to take an opportunity like this. Shin's guard were down, as was Sao's. And this now turns into a battle where you really have to think on the spot. And given how clever Osen is, I think he would be stupid if he did not take advantage of this as a distraction. Because now even Ribuku has to sweat a little bit, because now he has to take his eye on Sao and Shin. So I'm just saying, this may very well serve as a good distraction. However, Ordo, the one who's leading the cards right now, may very well be John. We haven't seen so much of Ordo ever since that humiliating defeat from Awesome. He has mountain troops mountain tribes, and as we know, mountain tribes are more stronger than average troops, especially from Chin. But what I mean is are Jan the people now holding the cards, or is everything else? Because this was a surprise. Not even Olsen knew this also was going to happen. So yeah, but he seems to take this as a personal moment to attack Ribuku, even though they were once allies, And what I meant to say is, according to history, this actually did happen. According to that history, Jan really did attack Sao, just at the same time as Shin did. So, and we all know what the history fell, but I still wonder what's the result going to be here in if we go by manga story wise. Is Jan the one who's are we gonna is Jon or Jo Ordo going to fall here? Or are there gonna be something else? Either way, this war just suddenly turned a complete upside down on us, don't you agree? We thought this was just gonna be Sao versus Shin, the arch nemesis, but no, an uninvited third guest have appeared. Now this turns into a threesome battle we cannot avoid. So give me your thoughts if you have any.